Hello and welcome back to Crew 42's YouTube channel. Today we have the 2023 Michigan Professional State Championships presented by Discraft, located at Earl Brewer Park in Byron Center, Michigan. This is the 2023 MPO feature card. Very excited to do this. I'm Brian Papa Wolf Frawley, and with me is
Phill Dilone.
Welcome. Excited to have you back on the channel. He shoots, he misses. Don't worry about that. We'll come back to that one later. We're here starting off on hole 15 on the course, but hole 1 for the tournament. So we'll say hole 1 up there. This is a slightly uphill par 3, 325 with a late break and very guarded green if you do come up short. The wind was very shifty in this first round. Had a lot of headwind and then a little bit of a crosshead towards the end of the day when these guys are teeing off.
Yeah, so you'll probably see majority of them go forehand off the tee.
Good afternoon and welcome to the first round of the Michigan Pro State Championships presented by Discraft. This is our featured card for the Mixed Pro Open Division. Leading us off, representing Discraft, Nick Gill.
Nick's going forehand off the tee as you predicted. Way high up in the air. Settles down pretty nice. Oh.
Yeah, just outside or just inside circle. Great shot.
Up second, representing Discmania, your current U.S. champion, Klein.
Excited to see Kyle play today, defending United States disc golf champion.
Yeah, nothing like, playing in a major and then a couple weeks later coming home and trying to earn a state championship on the course you learned to throw on.
Yeah, with one of the best TDs in the state. He might be on this commentating.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. We've got Luke Taylor here from Shepherd, Michigan, the young gun on Team Discraft and Team Great Lakes.
Yeah, just another routine forehand up the gap here. There's one more play as the backhand turnover, maybe a mid-range.
Phill Dilone.
Yeah, so there's you on the camera. That's always fun to see. And look, you predicted you'd throw a turnover mid-range.
Yeah, this hole's a little tricky. If you don't send it up and left a little bit, you kind of do not have a play inside. I actually clipped some trees. It's kind of hard for it to see on that one. But just an easy chip shot up for hopefully a par.
Here's Luke for starting off with a birdie. And we love to see that and gets us a green square.
Yeah, Luke is a smooth player. What is he, 17, Brian?
Yep, 17, senior in high school, living the dream, baby.
Man.
Kyle knocks in his birdie. That's got to feel good. We had Kyle's grandma and dad out there. People walking the course looking at him. Of course, Nick Gill had family and friends being a great local. And there's you tapping in as well, getting your par. And don't worry, folks, he has pants on. It was very confusing as the TD to watch Phil walk through the parking lot, but we got there.
Yeah, one thing we're excited about, this is hole 2, 356, straight up the gut. This is a pretty hard mid or like a light fairway, just straight to little fade and just let it come back. But one thing this course is known for is birdies. We are playing in the state championship layout, so there's not as much OB out there. So we're definitely going to see these players allowed to err a little bit and go left and right without being penalized. So let's see what we got.
If you've watched any of the other coverage of this course, maybe you've seen RCO coverage, which is a great A tier in the state. They make it a little bit harder with different OBs. And I would say as the TD, I chose to make it a little bit easier to score. Nick tries to do it in one shot on that one.
Wow, I did not notice how close he was in real life with that. That was very close.
Kyle's pin high, but edge of circle.
Yeah, so fun little stat. Luke was 25th on tour with of the few tour stops that he did play with 224 birdies out of 558 holes played. That's going to be a great stat going into this course that you can pretty much birdie every single hole.
Yeah, we've seen some great scores from some touring pros when they come through in the summer and get to play this great course. It's a fun layout. Here's you just outside the circle. We saw the leaves blow. Again, maybe a left or right for Phill.
Bottom of the basket, a little rushed. It's okay.
In that same view, now Kyle will have a tailwind for himself.
Oh.
Pushes that.
Not a
one right
normal
away.
air ball.
No.
Once again.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of nerves, maybe a little bit of jitters.
Luke's got a putt with Nick right now.
That's a bonus feature you get here at Great Lakes Disc.
He just said nice of him to decide to lay that out.
Yeah, for sure. And there it goes. Luke's already got to 2. Kyle's going to clean his par up as well as you are.
Yeah, hole 16 played at just 0.13 under par at a 2.88. Not a bad hole. Pretty routine. It does not feel good, I'll tell you that from experience of missing that birdie. So pretty relatively routine for the upper level pros.
Yeah, it did play, like Phill said, just a bit under par. So playing just a bit under par leaves you actually in the top 10 as hardest holes on this course, to give you a reference. We are moving on to course 17, hole 3. This one played right about even. It's a longer par 4. We do play the road on and over as OB on this one. It's 605, slightly downhill, so a well-placed tee shot and a good approach shot should get you the birdie on this hole for these caliber players.
Yeah, just a good forehand is kind of the key here. Most players should be taking something like that.
You know, we'll see him go over the road and come back in as well with a lot of these shots.
And Luke is just such an athlete. He's a well-rounded player, and he makes it look effortless. It's very nice to see.
Yeah, he's on his high school basketball team too. Nick does the same forehand over, lands a little bit safer into the open, doesn't bring that road into play as much.
Yeah, it's either you saw off your forehand and it's a backhand approach, or you keep it like over the road and it's forehand. So Kyle doing the same thing, just going to be easy routine. He'll probably throw an up shot with like a tactic or something.
Yeah, he might even try to throw it in with one of his logics that he likes to throw. And we see how that comes into play there. We turned over a forehand a bit, and you get to try to throw this one in for birdie.
Oh yeah, I definitely rolled the wrist extremely hard on that one.
Yeah,
I sent it as hard as I could on this,
Yeah.
After that was pretty bad.
There's a lot of open air over there, and you found a lot of it playing back towards 16's tee there. Almost got the black ace. Is it a black ace if it's on your third shot? I don't know.
Same.
Yeah. Nick's got that backhand line. On his trusty zone that you'll see.
Yeah, just before the canopy, letting it. Wow, just Ooh. An absolute tap in. What a great shot.
Yeah, don't hit your head on that one.
Nick's also local to this course, and he has a really good game plan, and he should be expecting to finish in the top, I'd say 5, if not have a chance to win.
For sure. Kyle giving that a semi bid from way out there. Lands inside circle 1.
I'm about 310 out.
Oh, I love the overhand shot.
Clipped that last tree, kind of fell down early, but it is all good.
And here comes Luke's forehand approach. I think he's throwing a Captain Raptor. Maybe a zone. Ooh.
Yeah, Luke is great. He also was throwing the Zone OS. I don't believe it was that one, but it was pretty nice to see. I've messed around with that disc. I have not thrown it in competition though. It was pretty cool to see what he could do with it.
Now, are you still putting with challengers here?
Yes.
Excellent. Yep. So I switched to challengers myself this year. I went left to Challenger OS. I'm just not as strong as I used to be.
Nice.
Kyle gets that birdie.
Yeah,
it's always good.
I was using the Exo Hard Logic. Loving that thing these days. So treating them pretty well. One thing, Kyle is coming from South Carolina after winning the USCGC, coming up north, in the warm weather, coming up north to a chilling low 40 degrees. So his disc should be doing just a little bit different things. It's going to be excited to see how he works to learn them as it goes. So we got hole 4, course 18. You really just want to get this one out, kind of throw a deep hyzer that fades off to the left. You could really hyzer it out to the right. But right after these bushes right here, you want it to swing left. It really gives you a good play at the pin. You can have a, backhand, forehand over the road, thumber up to the pin. You have very versatile finish if you just land in that one initial landing zone. So let's see how this plays out. This is hole 4, 786 feet.
Yeah, and this hole did play just a scotch over par, with the road being OB and those 2 large bush areas being kind of an island OB, more of a pace of play OB, if you will.
Yeah, good point. I did fail to mention that those are OB, so you can also throw a little too far and find yourself in that little hazard OB. It's not a good place to be.
Yeah, it keeps the player from trying to get a little too crazy. Nick finds a nice open
I think this
spot.
is a very fair landing zone. You almost it's a good confident throw. A little more hyzer if you're thinking you're going to end up in it, just to make sure you swing left of it. So Kyle landing pretty much in his prime location. You really don't need to bite off too much. It's all about the approach on this one.
Yep, miss those two out of bounds areas, and then find the green, peninsula green, as you approach. What'd you throw off the tee here, Phil?
I did a 2021 maybe Nate Heinold Ledgestone Nuke. Just an old ESP, but it's a beautiful disc. It's actually brand new. I put it in the bag this weekend.
That's fun.
Kyle swinging it high, just around this tree. Should be right there in the circle.
Oh, lay down. Yeah. Ooh. Good job.
Yeah, that should be good.
And Nick's going to go over the out of bounds here, which is a wide open play. You just got to make sure you get all the way back over.
Yeah, I believe he's throwing a Z or ESP, or no, I believe it's a big Z Raptor, and that almost clipped it. That was just right there. Good shot.
Yeah, he loves big Z Raptors. That's his go-to for sure. Great blend. I'm a big Z fan myself. Look at you going over the top.
I'm going test flight Raptor, bouncing it up. I actually lost a beautiful one. I put that's a brand new one in the bag. It's a little bit more stable than I need it to be. A little bit more glidey, but it's working out.
Ooh, what a great approach by Luke. It's crazy to think all 4 of you shot, and I think Kyle's gonna be the furthest out at just outside 20 maybe.
And Luke just showing us what it takes to win on this course, just truly just putting it exactly where you need to be. His upshots are going to be clutch. It's going to take somebody, you're either going to putt like a champion this weekend, or you're going to just put everything extremely close, as this course is very attackable. So I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and here you go to get your first green square of the round. So congrats to you. And then Luke's going to tap in to get 4. Hey, guess what? This is hole 5, course 1. This is a 270-foot par 3. Rather easy for these big boys. But that walking path is OB and does create a little bit of problem up there. There's a lot of people that are going to forehand up in this air over that path and come in to crash here. Some people might try up the gut, but the safer play, for my opinion, is the forehand.
Yeah, right there with you, Brian. It's the routine. As you know, you've quoted this. This is Luke's Captain Raptor. It's super reliable. Look at him throw it barely with any power off the tee. He just
and that almost got like
disc.
Straight up and down vertical, like just crashing in hard.
Yep. That is not Nick's Raptor. I don't know what that disc is, but
I think that's...
We had a slight left to right as well, so we kind of pushed the disc a little bit more. You can see some of the leaves coming across.
Yeah, I think that's his ESP zone. That was Kyle swinging it out, same path. Oh, good break.
Just digs it.
Yeah, had the old Tiger Woods R2 button spin.
Oh, wow. He was risking potentially going OB on that. And that was a really good Tiger Woods reference right there, kicking it back.
Thank you. What are you throwing overhead like that?
I just threw a Sexton Firebird. And actually, it's hard to tell right there, but I bounced it off the cage. Almost got my first thumb race. It was pretty cool. So
that's awesome. That would have been a great hoot. Pick from Mani. Speaking of Nick from his knee, congrats on his recent engagement.
Oh, nicely done. Yeah, he proposed to his lovely fiance on the top of Mount Mansfield. It's the tallest mountain in Vermont. Very great time to do it. In late September after the World Championships in Vermont. Super cool.
Here comes Kyle to get 3 in a row. Oh, Kyle's not going to get it high enough.
Yeah, you can see them trees are just bouncing up and down. It was a little swirly wind. Look at Luke's shirt right now is kind of over his left arm was kind of messing around. The wind is definitely out there. This kid makes it look a little easy.
Yeah, he just snapped that right at that. Good job, Chainstar programming it as well. And everyone else is going to tap in for Par City. What kind of bag are you using there?
That is a new Seeger bag by Guru, or Seeger Disc Golf out of Norway.
Since 2015, Great Lakes Disc has been supporting players at all levels, from local leagues and events to professional disc golfers on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Visit GreatLakesDisc.com to learn more.
All right, we got hole 6. We're coming at you. This is course original hole 1, tournament hole 6. This is just going to be a 312-foot shot. What you want to do is kind of throw a right at it with a little, you could flex something on a little Annie flex into the basket, or some players may choose to take the left side with slightly understable disc that kind of fades right at the basket. Looks like Luke's going to go putter here. Let's see how this plays out. Super high
air.
Yeah, he was not too happy. The wind definitely took it. It was a left to right coming in off the parking lot. So let's see what Nick chooses to do.
Nick's going to throw his trusty ESP zone.
Yeah, so you see that Nick threw it out left high, thrusted it like Brian just said, and it flew just beautiful right down into there.
That's a great shot. Kyle looking to get back on the birdie train.
What do you think, Brian? That's probably a putter of his, maybe a Logic?
Yeah, maybe one of his Cosmic Fury premium Logics. It looked like it went nice and straight.
So I am trying to take the Anheuser Flex with the zone. Won't quite give it the Anheuser. This was my 17th round of the year, so little rusty in that sense, but kept it close.
Yeah,
who knows?
I mean, the sheer excitement we had for you to come and play was just wonderful. Want everyone to look at the circle. There's no leaves inside the circle, and just want to give a great shout out to all the volunteers that came out the day prior and cleaned up these areas and made the landing zones a little bit crispier. Jess and Adam and Sancho came out with his blower, and a lot of people were out there helping. So thanks to all the volunteers and people that made this event possible.
Yeah, and as Brian just said, that huge thing with the volunteers there in West Michigan. But one thing that they did not only come the weekend day prior, they were there every single day. They were spotting on the holes that needed it, and they were also blowing every single day. It was truly incredible to see, just a smaller tournament. It is the state championships, but to have that crew in that corner was definitely great to see. Kudos to you guys.
Yeah, and it's great to see that Nick and Kyle got some birdies on that hole. Unfortunately, Luke misses his first one of the day. And you've given yourself a little bit of a fun shot for your tap-in par here.
Yeah, just working on those close putts, just definitely like messing up the first shots initially.
All right, so we're on to hole 7, or course hole 3, and this is a 382-foot late breaking downhill slope to the right. Very guarded basket with some big mature trees that you need to miss. The mistake here is pushing straight and not coming up short. So we're going to see a lot of forehand attacks here. Nick flexes a forehand beautifully out in the open, but just again pushes a little bit too long.
Yeah, looks like it just stood up a little bit.
Yeah. Backhand is, in my opinion, the harder shot, but Kyle's much better at disc golf than I am.
So Kyle's going to the left of the big tree on, like, after that stump. It's a great line. That's truly a great line with a nice like turnover, flippy mid. I'm not sure what mid that was his, but a nice flippy one.
Luke's gonna throw a forehand here. And that one is the same mistake. Pushes too straight.
And again, I think that's this year's Tour Series Captain Raptor. That's more the ESP one.
What are you bending over here?
I'm taking the same line with the Buzz SS, really old school one that I have. It's a good one. Hung it a little too far left. Maybe give it a little too much speed as well.
Kyle from about 80-ish gets it to settle down right underneath the basket. Got a similar distance inside, but you settle great as well. Got a soft bid area. Nick makes a smart play and just gets it into the bullseye to tap in.
Man, Luke's great with the bounce back. He was 11th on tour in bounce back and scrambling. So that is a great stat. So birdie after bogey is what that is. So although Luke did not just bogey the previous hole, it kind of felt like it probably to him, especially on this course when all these there's birdies out there on every hole. So great bounce back from Luke, really starting that train again. Hole 8. This is a great one. You almost want to push it forward as far as you can. There is a Mando on this hole on the far left, so you want to push it just past the Mando, relatively, maybe about 350, 375. And then this one's a par 5 that is eagleable. So right as we're getting up to the shot, you see there's like a little yellow thing on the tree that's the Mando. You want to be right here as the drone flies, and then you almost want to flex a forehand up and kind of knife it on an anhyzer. Really good overstable disc and send it up into here. The good shots will get you to circle 2. It's a very hard shot. Although if you push it a little too far, you're going to be throwing an understable disc kind of up the hill and really allowing it to bend over and kind of push down the fairway. So let's see what Luke does here. Such a
Let's
smooth
see.
release.
Yeah, he takes your advice wonderful, and
So
bounces
skips
into
up.
that open area. Yep.
Yeah, he puts it right by the drop zone, and that's pretty much right where you want to be. You could be a little bit more forward, but that's a really good shot.
Yeah, one of the things with putting in that drop zone is making sure that you can still have some sort of shot up there.
Yeah, Nick kind of flipped his disc a little too far right. He's going to have this little mound of trees in front of him. He should be able to get up there. It is a softer par 5, but he definitely has some work to do.
Yeah, and Kyle's following that line that you said and hitting right in that drop zone area, so he's going to have a great line, or at least a great angle to the basket. And look at you, following that same path, pushing a little deep now.
Yeah, I
Got
pushed
those
a little
muscles.
too far, a little too far to the back fence, but I think it's an okay place to be. Nick's got
This
a
is
tight line.
challenge. Yeah.
That's good. You really just want to be above the crest of the hill. Don't hit an early tree. Blow your momentum. Just trust that you're going to get out, and then you can get up and down for possibly a birdie and definitely save a par. So I actually did not know what to throw here, and Luke Taylor says just throw an understable nuke. I actually have a nuke in my bag that is pretty much a roller. Somehow I was able to put it, as the camera missed the pan, I was just pin high, but probably like 60, 70 feet away from the basket. So
Yeah, you were like edge of circle 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle doing that turnover forehand that you called for, and it's moving up there. He's going to be kind of just outside circle 2.
Yeah, and hole 4 is playing at an even par. I think this hole's good because it definitely allows you the mistake. The initial gap is pretty challenging. If you miss left or right, or possibly fade left to the Mando, you're definitely looking at par at best. Let's see what Nick gets on his third.
Throwing that trusty ESP zone.
Wow.
He knows how to use that. Yep.
Yep. So Nick should have just a tap-in birdie. That's a great recovery. Not that it was a recovery. His first shot was just a little too far back. So look at this standstill. Beautiful little shot.
Yep.
Actually,
Slides up behind that tree.
Behind the tree, it's not a gimme, but Luke is a very good putter. So we'll see what it is. And yeah, you can see the basket just below, just to the right of the split tree. And I just gave it a bid. I actually put with a soft zone right there just to try to hyzer around that tree, but I'll be right at the base.
This is for eagle. And
Man.
boom. Only one of the day. Only eagle of the day on the course. And yeah.
He
so
knows it.
Just great.
He knows it.
Yeah, he's smiling. He's happy. He needed it too. Makes up for a couple of the missed opportunities there.
Yeah, that's a bonus to keep pace, especially when Luke just hit the first 5, missed 1, and is on track right now to continue his birdie streak.
Yeah, he just had an eagle hit in his face, and he's up next. End your circle. Just shows you the type of composure this young man has.
Yeah, he locked it in, walked it in like it was no big deal. I really love to see it. So
you get yourself a birdie too, and we know that Nick's about to tap in. And so your card shot -5 on that hole.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's fun and exciting. All right, here we go with course hole 5, tournament hole 9. This is a beautiful par 4, 667 feet. Going uphill the whole way. Not drastic, but you definitely feel it. There's a couple major plays here. Most of people are going to attack a little bit wider on a backhand and trying to miss a double tree gap. And then on the left side, you could do a turnover forehand, a little bit more risky for the right-handed player. Once you come into the green, you want to match the slope of the green to stay in circle one on your approach.
Yeah, Brian, you said it best. Match the slope of the green. Let's see if all players realize the very helpful hint you just said.
And Kyle blows right by those double trees that I was talking about and puts himself in great position for an approach.
Yeah, it's hard to see the fairway. The leaves are falling here in West Michigan. It is a nice brisk day, but as we stated earlier, the grounds crew did great cleanup in the volunteers around the tees and the greens. So, but yeah, this is one of the spots on the course where you just see the most leaves, and it's actually cool to see.
Yeah, you know, when I won the bid for the Pro State Championships, I did state in the bid package that I wanted a late October tournament so that people could come in off the tour and still play. Plus, I think you got to be a little hardy to be the Michigan State Championship with all of our weather we have here. And it worked out well last year when we had Stacy Kiefer and Andrew Marweed win.
Yep. And Nick just hit early. He should have somewhat of a routine upshot to save par. I also clipped a tree high. I'm going for a backhand roller, playing the slope as Brian sled, deciding to sled right up that tree right there and just leave myself a relatively long approach, maybe about 275, 300. So I do not have the hole finished yet.
Great recovery there. Hopefully you can have the same recovery up near the green. Nick's trying to put it out wide and slope into that green, hoping for that extra stability. Looks like it gets clipped up and doesn't quite make it there.
So yeah, shooting three. I really threw a nice 2020 ledgestone glow zone. I probably should have threw the slope of the green. I hyzered away from it, as it's hard to see, but this is on a very kind of undulating slope that is the green. It's falling to the left, so the best thing that you could do is throw a forehand like Kyle up and into the slope, checking up, riding it. I kind of just caught gravity and fought it down left. So not the play, but wish I had a caddy that day.
Well, Phil, after I'm done being the TD, if you ever play the state championship again, I would love to caddy for you.
Great. Look at Luke's, just the way that he does complete standstill, just checking it up right to the base of the basket. Nick coming back up, allowing himself to save his par. So he definitely just chipped it up there.
Hitting you baskets. Gave it a great effort. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Kyle's above the basket here. Always makes me nervous when I'm putting like that, but not for him. He taps it in. It closes,
yeah, great putt.
Yep. And as we watch everybody finish up on this, the 9th hole, remember to like and subscribe. Maybe even give us a share, give us a shout out. We love seeing new subscribers. Phil unfortunately closes out the front nine with a bogey. It's been great watching all these kids, as we see two kids play soccer in the background. But Nick gets a -5, Kyle's -7, Luke's -8, and Phil unfortunately gets a +1. We'd like to thank you again. Remember to like and subscribe. Big shout out to our Patreon supporters.